Now, every time there is a delivery on our floor and it's the first car, mom and dad are delivering or purchasing their first vehicle from one of our dealerships, it makes me teary and I get very emotional and sensitive about this topic. I always go and speak to the child and explain to them that, this is not normal. It is a very privileged situation that you find yourself in. So, appreciate and thank your parents for, number one, doing this for you, and number two, for being in a position, because not many parents can do this. Many would love to, but they can't afford it, they can't do it. Now, that also brings me to a different mindset. Is that perhaps spoon feeding, the silver spoon in the mouth to the kids? So on today's episode, we decided to process the pros and cons of parents purchasing their kids' first car. Next to me, as always, Annemarie Meyer. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's get into the issue and let's process it together. Let's get into it. Let's get into the pros first. The first one, teachers' responsibility if they pay for the other expenses of the car.
I agree. They're fortunate. If a parent can afford to do that, they're very fortunate. But yes, it's a responsibility. So you need to decide in what way you're going to give the vehicle. If you're just going to hand over a very expensive car to a child, one thing. But if there's rules around this, so you've got it, you need to look after it. There's services. It's going to teach them responsibility. Because by that time, especially when they turn 18, they might still be in matric. So that last couple of months of that year, they're going to drive that vehicle. They've got full responsibility. And you can start letting go. You can make sure that they know fuel costs money. Services cost money. So you can start teaching your child, and not only do it once they start buying their own vehicle. Definitely it's a pro.
So then the con of that is, on your point, at the age of 18 to 21, whether you're studying, whether you are working, whether you're still in school, still in matric, perhaps you're not ready for that upkeep of the vehicle. So you are effectively teaching that child, the handout method. So we bought you a car and you're not ready to upkeep this vehicle, so we're going to pour petrol for you and we're going to do the insurance for you and we'll pay services for you and we'll pay this, that, and the third thing. That for me is a massive con, because you are priming your child for a handout mentality.
No, I can see you're going to hand a child a car in that way, and that's why it bothers you. I will not hand my child a vehicle in that sense. Remember, in matric they can't. But I'm going to monitor them on certain different things.
I disagree. They can in matric.
They can. Oh, yes, you can. And
Anybody
They can have a weekend work, so they can start paying.
A side hustle.
But let's say I have a child that don't have a side hustle, or any other parent for that sake, especially girls. I know parents with girls are a bit different. But yes, they can do it. But if not, I can still track him on how clean that vehicle is. How often do they actually make sure? Do they take that vehicle on a responsible outing? So I'm going to school and back if I say so. If I'm going to go to friends, is it an honest request? Hi Ma, I'm going to go to and visit my friends. Do I see them 7 hours later or start searching for my child? No, then they don't deserve. So yes, if they can pay or not pay, that's not the point. The fact that they've got a responsibility in certain, it doesn't need to be monetary.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, because they don't have a choice. They have to. So you want a car? No problem. If I get you a car, you'll be responsible for the upkeep.
Good.
Oh, you don't have any money? No problem. Here's 5 side hustles that you can do to maintain your vehicle. One is boom, 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 boom. This is the time required. Can you handle it? Yes or no?
Agree. Responsibility.
Give parents a little more free time on their hands.
Definitely. Why not? So especially for little small errands. So why not? They love driving at that point in time of their life anyway. So that currently it gives me the edge just to say, listen, quickly just pop in after school and get me something. that saves me an hour
Yes.
in the
Agreed.
afternoon. So I
Agreed.
love it. Definitely a pro for me.
A con from the point of view of the child actually being able to do it on his own is, and that's why many parents step in. And the con is, at the age of 18 to 21, your credit score is not great because the bank doesn't have historical data on you. Have you bought stuff on credit? Can you pay it? Will you pay it? You don't really have, at the age of 18 to 21, a stable job that has historical data on, listen, you've been with us for 5 years. You are permanently employed.
Can't
So that's
even
a con.
open up an account.
Yeah, at
For
that
me,
age.
that's why I'll buy my child a car.
And even if you can, the interest rate and the payments will be a lot cheaper
I'm
on
killing him.
100%. Or maybe making him tough. Depends which side of the fence you're on. Number 3, it builds trust.
Definitely. It builds trust. Because that is where you say, I get that phone call. Can I quickly just pop out? I'll be back in a half an hour. Where are you going to go? No, just around to a friend. Good. I'll see you in half an hour. And my son knows, if you're not back in half an hour, we will not even discuss it. Because that is trust. If
Yes.
you want to earn my trust for sometimes to stay out later or do whatever you need
You
to do,
have to adhere to the
you
rules.
will adhere to the rules. So yes, I'm very strict in that sense. But for me, now I can start coaching him. Remember, I can only coach a child from the age of 13 to 18, certain parameters. But once they get that car keys, they get loose.
Yep.
They get reckless. So now you need to rebuild for that next 2 years or 3 years or until such a point in time where you can earn your own vehicle.
100%. Here's a con. Were you responsible at 18? Now, I want to give you a different perspective. At 18, when you get a car, if you're going to answer that question post you getting the vehicle as a parent, you've already lost the race. You need to be able to effectively answer the question, is this boy or girl responsible at this age to be able to handle himself? So let's look at what happened in the last 6 months. Does he stay out late? Does
No.
he?
Because I'm going to tell you what I decided. So I
Okay.
don't know for other parents. I just decided, Esti, you will not have. You will not get a fast car. Because he's not responsible on fast cars.
But never mind even a fast car, even if it's a slow car, is that young man or woman going to put extra stress on the parent? So if you don't come home at the correct time, when you go out with your friends and come back, what makes you think you're going to do that with your own vehicle?
No, definitely. I don't want that stress on me if that child. But that's why he's got to earn that trust first.
100%.
And you've got to have very strict rules. Very.
100%. Number 4, it gives them more self-confidence.
I believe so at the age. But very fine line again. So for me, it's a pro, absolute, but a very fine line between confidence and arrogance. Because once they've got that car, they get to school and they think they're big. They think they're grown up. They think they're smart. So as long as you've got that responsibility with your child and they understand it. So it's not every child that's adaptable to this responsibility to have a vehicle at the age of 18.
100%.
But you can teach them.
And the last con rather than a pro is getting something that you didn't work for, you didn't deserve. This is the technical one, because the question always remains, will you appreciate it more if you've earned it yourself, or will we spoil you if we hand it out on a silver platter? And that is, I think, going back to values and principles and upbringing. Because if you are fortunate enough to provide that young man or woman a car, but they understand the struggle and the hustle that you had to go through, then they'll appreciate it. But if it's just like, here's a car, enjoy yourself, the next time it's going to be an expectation until perhaps you're no longer there, and then they have to fend for themselves, and they don't know what it takes to actually achieve a massive success like owning a vehicle.
It's very debatable. But if you go back onto one of our previous episodes about the mistakes we make in our household with emotions and communication. If you've got a balanced lifestyle with your child, at the age of 18, you'll know if he's ready for that or not. But you need to be very honest with yourself first to say, okay, this one is not ready. Some are ready, some aren't. But you need to decide.
You'll know if you've raised a spoiled brat.
You'll know. And
will.
if you've raised the spoiled brat, I agree, then I'll rather stick with you. But if you know he's got the responsibility and you've got a trustworthy relationship with him or her, why not? If you can give it to that child, why not? It will just give them that edge in life.
So initially we agreed to disagree, but I think we have come to a middle ground. I'm happy. I really enjoyed this episode. It's a very interesting topic. It's a nice one. If you guys did too, please leave us a comment as well as the like button.
And I did like it. And please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell.
Thank you very much. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.